table in our SQL pool. So let's go ahead and look at that. Here it is. There's our top purchases table that we just created, and we can actually do a select top 100 on this query and query that table directly. So this is the cool thing about Synapse. It's able to quickly, we are able to take data from the SQL pool and put it directly, take data from the Spark pool and write it into the SQL pool. And the same thing, reading and writing data, no different at all. So let's try it for another file here, and go ahead and see what we can do. We are creating here a data frame called sales, and we are loading data from, again, our data lake initially. So we're going to load data from our data lake. Let's go ahead and do that. And it's running its job. So you can see here is the data that using the display command. Again, we're just looking at what we have done so far and looking at the customer IDs here, etc. So one of the things that we want to be able to do is let's go ahead and also read the data that we just put in. So we want to be able to now read it, use the same libraries, the SQL pool, and access our table top purchases and put it into a data frame here. So let's go ahead and try that. We're putting it into a data frame and creating a view on it. So let's go ahead and try that. And it's going to run that job here. And now we can see right here, there is, when we do the head on the data frame, you can see what is the output. So the cell language, we can see that it's set to Scala, right? And the SQL read.SQL analytics reads us the data from our SQL pool, right? Which is our table, which is top purchases. And then we are displaying the first 5 values, which we are seeing here. So now let's go ahead and take that top purchases table, right, and put it into a data frame. And that's actually running this job here. All right, so we have that top purchases from SQL, right, which came from our Scala code, right? We're taking the view and creating a data back to a data frame with this. We could have actually put in the language here with basically the default language, which is PySpark, right? So we can actually see that, which is the default language. So we didn't have to specify it here, but we could specify it if we need to. Now what we are going to do is take the data frame that we have. We have the data frame DF sales, which we created before, and we also have top purchases from SQL, which we created. We're actually going to join both of them, and we are going to, after we join them, we are going to do some aggregations on them. So this is how we can actually take data from the data lake and from SQL and vice versa, and create multiple data frames and join them together, because we're able to do that very quickly in Spark. So let's go ahead and run that and look at what we get out of it on the final data frame, which is the inner join aggregate. So that's what we are going to be displaying. So what it's doing behind the scenes is joining it, and you can see it executing here. If you look at the details, you can see that different tasks behind the scenes are being run. And we don't have to worry about it. The great thing is, if we want to look at it and view it for monitoring, we do have the ability to do that. But as it's running, we don't have to, and as long as it doesn't give us an error, we don't have to worry too much as it's running, right? We know that the job is running, different stages are being executed, and as soon as it's done and it's succeeded, we can see our output. So we are able to join these two data frames. So this is the cool thing, reading and writing data Two, the SQL pool has never been easier with the Spark pool. So the Spark pool directly interacts with the SQL pool. This is absolutely outstanding for data engineering tasks. When you have data that